By request, I'm going to be taking a look at Dire Straits' 1983 Alchemy version of Sultans of Swing. Now, I have heard this song before, just not the live version, and I've heard it's particularly brilliant on the guitar. So let's get started.
A shiver in the dark, it's raining in the park the main time. Sound river, you stolen your whole everything, come on down. Man is blowing Dixie double fall time. Yeah, you feel alright when you hear the music, man. Yeah. Well, now you're stepping inside, but you don't see too many faces. Coming in out of the rain, they hear the jazz go down.
There's just a few things. One, Mark Knopfler, I always pronounce his last name wrong, is a remarkable guitarist. And I have always struggled with Dire Straits' popularity. Because musically, vocally, I think they're incredible. Of course, they've got some great hits, and their music does last a lifetime. I just kind of wish there was more, and I don't know, more awareness, I suppose. Especially when you take a listen to music that's being produced today or even over the past 15, 20 years. What Mark and David Gilmour and Joe Satriani and all of these guitarists, because I'm a guitarist, so I do pay attention to that, but I don't feel like the music that's produced by some bands today, and I would argue the large popularity of bands today, don't have the technical aptitude that artists did back now. I mean, this is 1983. I can't recall when this album came out, but again, if you listed the original songs, I'm talking too much. If you listed the original songs, production is pristine. Their stage presence and sound is pristine. Mark's voice is no different in live than it is on the album. He just has such a smooth voice with no effects on it, no correction on it. And we get that both in the live and the studio version, and it's just remarkable. The other thing is that Mark's guitar playing skills are just out of this world, and it is so effortless. That's all I wanted to say for now. So let's keep going. It's just because I've not heard this, so the first time hearing this, the quality is brilliant.
Competition, too many other places. Yeah, but the horns, they're blowing that sound, they're blowing way on down south. Way on down south, London town. Check it out, Guitar George. Now he knows all them fancy chords. He just rhythm gonna make that guitar cry and make it sing. Send an old guitar and just all he can afford. When he gets up under them colored lights, gonna play that today. He doesn't mind if he doesn't make that fancy scene. Got daytime job, you're doing quite alright, thank you very much. Do the honky tonk just like anything. Saving it up for a Friday night. Sultans. Yeah, we're the Sultans of Swing. Alright. We send a crowd of boys, they're just fooling around in the corner. Drunk dress their baggies and their best King's Roll. Don't give a damn about any trumpet playing man, 'cause it ain't what they call it rock and roll. The Sultans, oh yeah, the Sultans play Creole.
He is always he's always fascinated me. Because there's not a lot of effect on his guitar, and I'm going to go back. I'm sorry to have paused in the middle of this. That was a blasphemy. But there's just a couple things, because always with his leads, he's got these sweeping muted string hits before he gets to the note. So it's just this right before, and he does it quite often, which is just incredible, because having that type of control over what strings are going to be muted at the time of during a solo, it's not an easy task. So with that being said, the other thing, going back to what I was originally going to state, is also there aren't a lot of effects on his guitar. He's, using the middle pickups between on his Stratocaster, and there's a little bit of reverb, maybe a little bit of tube on there, maybe to boost some of that bluesiness, because he's got a signature tone that he uses, right? So we want to get that, but there's no distortion, and it's so absolutely clean, and I'm just astonished every time I listen to him play. That. Oh, I like how they brought it down.
Just to step right up to the microphone, he says at last, just as the time bell rings, "Dan, you good night, now it's time to go home." Let me make it fast with just one more thing.
I love how they keep bringing it down.
We're the Sultans. Yeah, we're the Sultans of Swing. That's right.
Jesus. That was not a mistake. Oh, I love this. I got chill bumps. Uh-huh. I love the crowds clapping. Oh, man. No guitar pick. It's just beautiful. Oh, I love this build. Oh. Jesus. Oh my God. I mean, you gotta admit that was just entirely epic. Because if it's not your type of music, I can understand you not agreeing. But from a guitarist perspective, there are so many things that Mark does that is just remarkable. And you've got to remember, this is late 70s, early 90s, or early 80s. So if you kind of, and it depends on where you are in the world. I know Mark's from the UK. So if you take a look at, the progression of music, depending on what country you're in, especially when you're specifically like referring to guitar work, you've got, country in the US and you've got blues in the US. In the early, and we're excluding jazz and things of that nature. I'm more looking when guitar became more prevalent and prominent in music, and blues really helped lift that up. Pete Anderson, Floyd Council, ironically, where Pink Floyd got their name, Muddy Waters, B.B. King. I mean, Albert King. I mean, when you look at the progression of guitar, it really stems from a lot of the early work of blues. Jimi Hendrix, right, made basically blues electric and psychedelic. And he took a lot of his riffs and work and his studies from original blues artists, and he electrified it, made it faster, and it made people really realize how much could really be done. I mean, distortion wasn't really created until, and I can't remember the band, it may have been Jimi Hendrix, I don't think so. You have to correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but they wanted a rough, distorted sound, and nothing existed as far as pedals or effects were concerned. So they took and cut up the speaker to their guitar cabinet, and it gave a distortion. So that's kind of where that started. So it's just interesting to see. All right, so my point in circling all this around is when we think of guitar work today, in today's times, we like to compare it to, who's great because they have speed. They're able to hit the pentatonic scale so fast and effortlessly and quickly. And I argue that if we didn't have those foundations in blues and jazz and folk and artists like Mark and David and Satriani came later. Pete Townsend. I mean, the Beatles, right? There are so many great examples of great guitars that have developed and improved music overall over time. And when I listen to Mark, he doesn't use a pick in a lot of his solos. And it's impressive for a number of reasons. One, as I mentioned, Mark has a unique tonality to not only his vocals, but also his guitar. You wouldn't even have to hear Mark sing, and you could put on a Dire Straits song and know, even if you'd probably never heard the song, yet you were familiar with Mark's playing. If you'd heard just maybe one or two other songs, I Want My MTV, Sultans of Swing, what have you, if you'd heard those two and then heard another one that you'd never heard by Dire Straits, and you heard Mark on the guitar, you would probably guess that's who it was, because he's got that uniqueness. I mean, there's great guitarists have a unique sound, just like vocalists and bassists and drummers. What, again, going back to making Mark even more unique, is that he doesn't utilize a pick a lot of the time when he's doing a solo. So because of that, when you hit a string with your finger, it's a completely different tone than what you get if you were to hit it with a pick. A pick makes it sharp and bright and strong. Whereas when you're hitting it with your fingers and plucking with your fingers, you get this smooth, this roundness, it's not as bright, and you got this great tonality. And then again, Mark and I can't remember the pickups he has. They're not original on a Stratocaster, but he's also using the middle switch on the bridge. So he's picking up and utilizing that middle pickup a lot more than closer to the bridge or closer to the neck. So we get just, again, this roundness. So it just creates this creativity. And on top of that, as a lead guitarist, trying to play lead on multiple strings while utilizing multiple fingers for bow plucking and the fretwork, it becomes extremely difficult. That's why you don't really see a lot of artists do that, because it's not easy. You've got to think, you've got to be 3 to 10 steps ahead in your solo, in your mind, to know where your placement for everything needs to go next. It's easy to strum a guitar. It's, I wouldn't call it easy to use a pick. It's just more difficult to utilize his strategy, but it is so effortless. It's not a technique. I tried it. It's not one that I could pick up. It it just didn't synchronize with my brain as smoothly as it does when I use a pick. And again, Mark does it effortlessly. There are many others that do it effortlessly. I would somewhat argue that a lot of the artists today that do implement this technique got it from Mark. That's my opinion. What did you think? I would ask if you've ever heard of Dire Straits, but I would imagine at some point in life you have, whether you've seen them in concert, whether you bought the album when it first came out, there are a multitude of albums, whether you saw their first MTV video of, which is a bizarre one if you haven't, but they were one of the first bands to implement 3D graphics and animation into a music video. They've been pioneers, and that's one of the reasons in the beginning why I said I've always been surprised at they're popular, but to me they're not where they deserve to be. Again, just my own humble opinion. I'm so thankful for this suggestion. As I said, I'd heard the song. It's been a while since I've listened to Dire Straits, especially in the past several months since I've been going down this road. But it's always a band that when I listen to, it's just like I'm always blown away, and I need to spend more time listening to him. In any case, I'm so sorry, BritinCali. It took so long for me to get to this. I appreciate the suggestion. I appreciate all the suggestions that everyone recommends. I enjoy experiencing new bands. I'm looking for another band that when I listen to it for the first time, I want to be blown away. And a lot of the suggestions that I've had lately are doing that, but I'm still not where I want to be. I haven't found that band yet. Freeze the Fall is super close in that particular genre. And I appreciate all the other bands, but there's just, I'm looking for more, so please keep your suggestions coming. I want to be blown away. Thank you so much for watching Melodic Logic, and until next time, please take care.